My name is Rachel Rhodes and I am Nuclear Medicine Team Lead.
I'm Lewis Saundry, I'm Project Manager for Strategic Estates.
So we are located in the basement of the tower block, and nuclear medicine is a specialised area of clinical imaging. We are diagnostic and therapeutic, and we differ slightly from all the other modalities because we look at function and physiology rather than anatomy. So we use ionising radiation to make the patient radioactive, and then we gather information from the patient directly. We see a whole range of different patients. We can be scanning premature babies one day, and well, even on the same day sometimes we can be scanning people with dementia. Because we're looking at the function of the body, we're looking at a whole diverse different things like kidneys, brain scans, bone scans. We sometimes even make radioactive food for patients so we can see how their digestive system is working. We can put droplets in people's eyes to see how their tear ducts are draining, if at all. So it's very diverse and it's very specialised.
The project we're working on in nuclear medicine consists of 3 phases. The first phase is to replace the end-of-life gamma camera, and obviously the refurbishment of the dispensary. Both of those projects start in October this year. We are expecting the dispensary to be complete just before Christmas. It's a slightly shorter scheme. However, the gamma camera is due to complete in May next year, May 24, with first patient date in that month.
The gamma camera is just a detector. So we have 2 detector heads. For this camera, you do have cameras with 1 detector head, and it detects the information, like I said, coming from the patient. So the patient is emitting gamma rays from the ionising radiation that we give to the patient, and the detector detects them and creates an image from that. The dispensary is the heart of nuclear medicine. It's almost like the kitchen. It's where our kits, our radioactive kits come in. We check them, make sure they are what they are, and then we dispense individual patient doses from those kits. So there's a lot of radioactivity in that area, so we're all monitored as individuals and we monitor the area. There's lots of safe working practices going on, policies, protocols, legislation around how we work in the whole of nuclear medicine, but very much so in the dispensary, to keep us safe and to make sure the patients are safe with the doses that we're giving them.
Yeah, so during construction, the way that we'll make sure that both patient, staff and obviously construction workers are kept safe, the dispensary area will be completely screened off. There is an arrangement with the clinical team so that they can maintain their operational service where they're using a temporary facility. But as mentioned by Rachel just a second ago, there is a lot of sensitivity around health hazards. And that's one of the reasons why we're doing this project, is to make sure that the trust and the department, the service, maintains its compliance with both the Environment Agency permits and the Health and Safety Executive requirements. And it, just in general, the department needs a refurbishment. It offers vital service to the trust, and as I say, we're doing it in a phased approach. First of which is the gamma camera and dispensary.
The new camera that's been installed is still a gamma camera. It's more diverse, so it'll be able to scan lots of different more examinations than our existing camera. Our existing camera is very limited because of the hardware, the software, and its age. So the new camera we will be able to scan a lot more patients in there. So we won't be using our other 2 cameras that are in the department, which means our patient flow will be better, our patient lists will be reduced, and it means that we can start to look around introducing different studies into the department.
There are 3 phases to the project, the first of which will commence in October and finish next May. The second phase of that is by splitting out the hot waste from the department, which is essentially the waste from patients and the treatment that happens with the radioactive sources. That will be split from the existing general waste, so that will probably start next financial year. We're still working through the designs of that at the moment. And then the third phase, and the only reason that this can happen at that stage, is once the first two phases are complete, and that will be a complete department refurb. The main reason for the department refurb and the reconfiguration is so that we can segregate both hot and cold patients. And essentially, I'm sure Rachel will probably be able to give us an indication as to what that means, but essentially cold patients are those that don't have radioactive substances within the body, and hot patients obviously do have radioactive substance, so we need to segregate those because at the moment we don't have that ability.